This video couldn't be monetized due to some of the exhibits on display, so this trip was entirely made possible by the support of patrons like Dakota Clark. Thanks Dakota, and thank you to the Leicester Space Centre for letting us film. Hello Penguinauts. We're heading up on a little trip to Leicester Space Centre. We're going to meet Carnasa in person for the first time. And it's a 3-hour drive, so it's way too early in the morning. We're going on a trip in our favourite rocket ship. Pit stop. Making good time actually. We got stuck in some traffic, but I think we are actually going to get there on time. 60 more miles to go. Let's go look at some rockets. That's a van driving the wrong way. And that's dear Evan Hansen. There it is. Oh. Follow the rocket signs. I think we can do that. It is 10 o'clock and we are 3 miles away. I am astonished how close to being exactly on time we are. I'm not sure what makes a car wash USA. That's where N9 works. He's actually secretly going to be stalking mine and Carnasa's trip to the National Space Centre, make sure we don't get too chummy. Someone's followed me down here, down the wrong way. I've gone down the deliveries entrance. I'm just going to park up. Oh! Hello! Hello! You definitely didn't arrive meeting you here 10 minutes ago. Oh,
no, that wasn't staged at all.
Carnasa, you've stolen my beard. And I'm wearing my human suit today.
It's the unbearded human.
Oh,
that famous KSP
it's
YouTuber.
Carnasa, that famous, not quite as good KSP YouTuber. Gonna see some rockets.
We are. Especially.
We're in the Space Centre. There's a rocket tower there. Carnasa and his wife are just getting their tickets sorted out. Thank you to the Leicester Space Centre for putting up with us today. Parafoil Gemini! I told N9 to do one of these. I told him like 100 times. I begged him. I said, please, even do it in a simulation and just show it like crashing into the runway, because it never worked.
I never knew that when I saw the like wing Gemini parts, I thought it was like they'd actually attached to the spacecraft. I didn't realise it was sort of like a hang glider almost.
We've also got a Soyuz. I think it's a 7K, which is the first one. And the awesome thing about it is it was meant to go to the moon, which is why they've got the toroidal fuel tank there, like the donut one. That was never actually used on any mission because it contained the fuel that would have been needed on a lunar voyage, and it never did that.
So is this what N1 kind of was supposed to launch? Was it,
no, the N1 Soyuz, which is the one I've got there, that is the LOK. And that one didn't have the solar panels, and it had a longer service module and stuff. This was the original design. The original concept for Soyuz was absolutely insane. They were going to launch a Vostok to oversee things, and then day after day after day launch a whole bunch of modules and assemble them. And they didn't know how to fuel things, so it would have been, each module was its own rocket stage. Yeah. So it would have used like 5 different stages and sent a crew on a circumlunar flight, because that was like to be Korolev's magnum opus. He's like, no one would ever be stupid enough to try anything more outlandish than flying around the moon. Like, who would want to land on it, right? Who'd be so crazy as to do that? And he took his plans to the powers that be and was like, this is my Soyuz concept. They looked at him and went, you're insane. No. So then he whittled it down to this. He sort of pitched it as it's a low Earth orbit vehicle, which is how he got it funded. But little details like the fuel tank show that he planned it was meant for something greater. Yeah, it hasn't got the thermal blankets on it, which is why it's not green. I remember like looking for so long to actually find out what color Soyuz capsules are. Like, are they green or are they black? And then I realized, oh, it's actually because the thermal covers they put on them, they could make them whatever color they wanted. It's not like, you know, Apollo where it's just the metal, right? Yeah. It burns off during re-entry, which everyone was all too happy to point out to me that I got that wrong in my first few flights. It doesn't actually say which Soyuz it is, but yeah, it is. 7K OK, which is probably pronounced differently in the Cyrillic alphabet. I don't speak Russian, I'm sorry.
Immersion broken.
Immersion broken.
This is Skylark, and this is actually the first rocket that I'm going to be launching in For All Kerbal Kind. Weird thing is though, when you're creating it in the BAB, in Kerbal Space Program, it's like this big. Actually seeing it in person is way, way bigger, but hundreds of these were launched from Australia, from multiple countries, and basically these were a staple sounding rocket for many years. I think flying all the way up to like the 2000s to 2005. The last
really?
of these flew, so 442 of these got flown.
Is that your first satellite up there as well?
That will be Prospero. Yeah. Except I decided to name it something slightly different from Bill Shakespeare's work. So I've gone for Caliban because I quite like the Tempest. That doesn't sound good.
Oh no.
Fuel is low, land soon. I'm at 5 meters above the surface, I think I'm okay.
Very nice. And here you have it, Beardy was the first to land on the moon.
Best today. Best today.
You alright in there?
I am.
Hello.
I'm Gagarin. This is the Yuri Gagarin experience. Currently at 0 PSI.
Adjust the capital pressure.
Adjust it.
It must be in the green band.
So what?
Into the green.
That one, isn't it?
That doesn't do anything.
The lit one.
Oh, hang on. Oh, wait, it's going up. Oh, do I hold it? Do I hold it? There we go. Wait, oh no, no, we're bad.
Too bad. There we go.
Hello? Don't leave us here.
Hang about. We're stuck in space. Oh! This is what the first rideshare mission's gonna be like.
We can only actually change the capital pressure, I think, and shut you up.
Yeah, we can turn the radio off.
For the Danny from season 3.
Oh yeah, switch the radio off.
No.
Oh!
Here we go.
Oh!
I feel like I should have a seatbelt.
Seatbelt might be nice. Oh, ready? Whoa! Whoa!
This is great. There's vibrations and everything.
It is actually rumbling. Yeah, this is cool. Off to space. I'm gonna come back again.
Sav has waited a long time to do that. Get some moon rocks. Are we going to the moon?
I don't think so. Maybe it's a crude lunar impactor.
Contract complete. Blue Streak. I'm really glad that they've got one of these here actually, because I'm going to be using this an awful lot in Kerbal. Basically a British intercontinental ballistic missile that went on to be used for projects like Europa, which was from the European Launch Defence or
Don't look at me, you're the European Space Agency. I don't know any of this.
Yeah, ELDO, I know that's the acronym, but ELDO went on to create Europa using the Blue Streak as the first stage. And they took some French designs and some German designs and finished it all up. But I'm going to be using this pure British design with black arrow stuff on top.
As it should be, made in
It'd
Britain.
be awesome.
Would it have had a nose cone on it if it had an ICBM?
That's how it was.
Is that how it
That's
launched?
how it launched. Yeah. Yeah.
What? Why? Just got to the top. You're like, you know what, boys? Let's pack it in for lunch. Have a cup of tea. They can launch that. Or able, aka the
Toothbrush rocket.
aka the toothbrush rocket. It literally is just a sounding rocket flapped on top of a ballistic missile, and it literally looks like it. The early rockets were about as Kerbal as you could get.
This is the most cursed rocket.
Smile, Carnasa, you're in the reflection.
I was just like cheering because we made it. No one stopped the lift.
Oh, there must be some sophisticated reason or like advanced aerodynamic reason I don't understand as to why it would look like that. No, they just bolted a solid rocket on top of a missile. We're like, yeah, that'll work. 3, 2. Accurate demonstration of the N1's launch capability.
The Gamma 2, obviously, this will be the second stage for Black Arrow. They use actually the same engines on the first stage as the second stage. It's just that on the second stage, well, Gamma 8 is the first stage, rather than having just the two on the second stage.
Do they have separate combustion chambers, or?
I don't actually know.
It's not one feeding into two separate nozzles, that the Kaija
No.
has the two separate ones being fed, so two separate engines in one.
Then we've got obviously the Blue Streak rocket engines here, and there's two of these, which I think are the RZ2. Basically, the Americans sold the British the LR79 engine, and
Right.
we kind of like adapted it for use in this thing. right here, the
That boy.
ginormous stainless steel rocket in front of us, which has a very weird top.
Which you haven't built out of stainless steel in for all
No,
Kerbal
no,
kind, 'cause
I-
you're cheap.
Not the lowest.
I mean, I
below,
cheated
but-
with the R7. I used integral tanks. I should have used separate stringer tanks, but you know,
Yeah.
all in the name of performance.
I mean, you got to squeeze out as much as you can.
Squeeze every last bit of Delta V.
Every
What's this
last
last
drop.
engine here then? We've got.
That's
is
also
that
just
oh,
the
it's
RZ.
just-
It's the two that are.
Oh,
Obviously, there's two at the
on the
bottom,
Yeah,
so-
there's 2 nozzles there.
No, I definitely do want to go and have a look at this skirt later on. The lightest way possible. Oh, that really does smell like burnt.
Burnt vape, doesn't it?
If only YouTube videos had smell.
Smell-o-vision.
They've covered up the blue fruit skirt. I can't
Oh,
my
no.
dream of
You
looking
can't
up. I
skirt
can't
the
see.
rocket.
They basically use the same engine first stage.
Oh, right,
That's
did it?
the LR79 and those the RZ2s.
Oh!
Lipstick rocket! I think that's what
The fact that
needs to be said.
Layla knows nothing about space exploration and just saw that and went, why is there a flying lipstick?
4 flown, and the last one was the only one to actually get to space and take this thing up to space, which is our satellite, which is actually still in orbit off the Earth.
There's a 10% rule of thumb. So if you're 24 hours before atmospheric entry, you have a 2.4 hour uncertainty.
Yeah.
And you think like 2.5 hours at orbital velocity is like half the world, right? Well, yeah, it's a few orbits.
It's
Let's,
one and a bit.
yeah,
About an hour and a half per orbit.
it's so
yeah.
hard to predict things that rely on atmospheric density, which it depends on temperature. And yeah, that's the reason why Skylab fell out of the sky as well, because they thought they would have the shuttle going, and then you had an unusually active solar cycle, atmosphere expanded, and that's, yeah, brought it down.
To a point where
I love the fact that Australia actually sent NASA a littering fine for Skylab. Yeah, it landed in the outback. I remember going to the Isle of Wight recently for the first time, just driving past the airport, and I look out the window and there's a massive replica of a black arrow there. And I'm like, look, lipstick rocket! And everyone else there was like, what? What are you on about?
Looking at you like some unhinged person that they've just let out of the
They're
mental
not
asylum,
wrong,
just
to
like.
be honest. I don't know what's up with the red fairings though.
No.
Like, is it for? It must be for tracking, right? Like,
Probably.
or
But
just swag.
You could just.
Looks cool.
I don't know. I can't think of it like. Avon, is that a lipstick brand? Just like bought the rights to the
Sponsored.
rocket and was just like, here you go, like we want you to make it look like this.
Got cancelled anyway, didn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe they should have got more sponsorships. That's where they missed out. You know, this classified
Not
rocket
that
design.
Was it
Get more
Soyuz that had or
Oh, it was
Pizza
Proton that had
Hut?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza
yeah,
Hut on the
Proton.
side, so
Yeah, people kept saying Beardy when Pizza Hut Proton, and I thought they would just, it was just the alliteration. I didn't realize it was an actual thing. So
Yeah.
someone sent me the photo, and I was like, "Is that Photoshop?" No,
No,
really, this is a
they actually
this is
launched
an
that,
actual
which
thing
is
they launched.
nuts.
A bit insane. Yeah. So we've got lipstick rocket, toothbrush rocket. What else do we need? We need floss rocket,
Fork
soap rocket, spoon
Knife.
rocket.
Just any cutlery implement, training board rocket, potato peeler.
You said it doesn't look like a toothbrush. Layla's shaking her head for the record. They're both a bit strange. Like,
Yeah.
they're fine down there, but when it gets nearer the top, why is it that every time we start talking about rockets, it sounds really weird?
I don't know.
Prototype lunar spacesuit. I still don't understand why it has a cape. Temperature regulation?
Well, I just thought maybe just hot day on the moon. You're a bit tired.
Off
You
like a task.
just need to
Have a little
just
nap.
spread it out and have a nice bit of a relaxing time. Probably can't joust on the moon.
Get a pair of lunar rovers.
There we go. Trip over. We've got a 3-hour drive back. Price you have to pay when you go to the north. Although I guess this is the Midlands. Though to me, anything north of the Thames is the north. We finished our time in the centre and we went to Spoons, had some dinner, and we're gonna head home.
A massive thank you to my patrons and donators for their generous support, and an extra special thank you to the Amazing Steak, Olaf Hammerhand, Lady Lagsalot, Dakota Clark, Madzor, Peter Lushtinets, Dennis Klomp, Lightning Gamer, Simone67, Scott Milligan, Jesse Smith, Elmac, and NX74656.